I am California of the past.
I am California of the past.
I
am California of the past.
The echo of feet as they clambered down the staircase. The amazed faces of the children watching my son juggle. The excited crowd packing in to see our new governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I remember coming to the 5th floor when the building was a skeleton. I struggle with the thought of loss of our Chicano Library Resource Center and the space of the future at King. I feel the excitement of graduation as I explore the library.
I remember holding my father's hand as we went up the large marble stairway in the San Francisco Public Library. It was daunting of the magnitude of the library reading room with its long wooden tables and its table lights at UC Berkeley. I remember spending the day with my mother reading the original handwritten Bancroft oral histories at UC Berkeley.
I recognize the sense of community within this library. I feel the positive energy of the people using this library. I enjoy the different perspectives of our patrons here in the library. I recall one horribly hot, humid day in May. I was in the 5th grade at O.H. Thorpe Grade School in Chicago, Illinois. I came home that day from school at lunchtime just so I could take a cool shower because I was so hot and miserable. Within minutes of exiting the shower, my hair was already dry and I was hot all over again. I was miserable, and I remember thinking, there must be a place in this world where I could live and not feel this way. I think this was the day that the seed was planted. California, here I come. At 21, my mom and I packed her car and we set out for the Golden State, which is where I live today. No lunchtime showers are necessary, thank you.
It was a warm summer evening, and my mom decided to serve dinner from the kitchen. My mom was serving spaghetti, and when my younger sister went in, my mom gave her a large helping topped with lots of tomato sauce. As my sister turned around to take her plate to the table, the spaghetti flew off the plate and landed on the floor with a loud splat. I ran in, and there was spaghetti and tomato sauce everywhere. My dad also came in and proceeded to clean the mess while lecturing my sister about being more careful. A few minutes later, I heard another loud splat. Running back into the kitchen, I found my father had just lost his spaghetti on the floor, and my sister peeking through the kitchen window from the outside.
How were 15 college students going to get to Guadalajara for a folklorico conference? That was the dilemma we were facing. With little money and not a chance that the university would fund us, we had to come up with a plan. After much thought, we decided to drive to the border and take the train from Mexicali to Guadalajara. We left Davis in 3 cars and drove to Delano, where we arrived late afternoon. We had dinner with the family of one of the dancers, and then at about 9 p.m., the uncle of the dancer arrived in a large truck. We all got into the truck with our luggage and left for Calexico. The majority of us were in the cab, and the truck that had a cover had no back window. The cab had no cushion, so the ribbed metal frame dug into our bodies as we all huddled to stay warm and sleep. The fumes of the truck could be smelled, and the lights of the cars behind us shined through. When we finally got to Calexico at about 4 a.m. in the morning, the town was buzzing. There were men all around buying things at the local market, and several school buses parked around us. Within 5 minutes of having arrived at the town, it was empty. It was only the 15 of us left in what was now a dark and lonely town. We were amazed and realized that the men were farm workers that were heading to the field. While the trip to Guadalajara had other highlights, it was this drive that remains as the most vivid.
How did I get to be an educator? As an immigrant child, it never occurred to me that college was a destination for me. But by the time I got to high school, it was pretty clear that education was my path. Oddly, college became an option my mother made for me. In the evenings after work, she went to English language classes. We shared teachers. I became known as Elsa's daughter, and I'm certain that the teachers took an interest in me because of her. One of my mother's teachers showed up in one of my classes and asked to take me out. He took me to meet a person who was going to change my life. I realized that from second grade, my teachers and my mother served as educational role models. Now I am a professor. I teach classes that I am passionate about. Every year I meet new students and I feel affirmed about this path. Being a professor was not what I was thinking it would be, yet I love being an educator. Working with students and finding the ones that remind me of me affirms my wish to be an educator. I don't look for folks who think as I do, but rather that somehow education is a means to making a difference in the world. Now I realize that a lot of the process was going from my immigrant child experience, the feelings of being an outsider, and teachers made that possible. They made it possible for me to belong.